SDP, the Steve Dangle Podcast, with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
Lots of Thanksgiving Day games happening today. We don't normally record on Thanksgiving Day, but we have a guy with a book that's coming out.
Yeah.
And you know what? Fine. You can get us to work on a long weekend.
Thank you.
But we are actually coming into work tomorrow because we're interviewing Matt Sundin, which will be on Wednesday's episode.
I forgot about that.
So Matt Sundin will be on the SDP this coming Wednesday. Also want to mention, Jesse, you got Steve's fun doll beside you, right? You know, his fun doll. U2s.
Yeah.
U2s can own
me.
It's a piece of history. There it is.
Feel that.
Actually, a lot of them sold this weekend, which is kind of nuts. I couldn't believe how many did sell. I don't have the exact number in front of me right at this point, but it's over 100 sold Friday alone.
Oh, wow.
So that was amazing.
And it's great because you can't sell out. If we sell a certain amount and then they go and make them.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
that's
just
actually
get in
very
there.
true.
Yeah. Yeah,
Get in there and freaking do it.
Yeah, and you've got, it's a 2-week window. That's the thing. It's not a sellout thing. It's a timing thing.
Yes.
You got to get it within the 2-week window.
Look at my hair. You can flick it.
Well, you got that kind of hair, don't you?
Yeah,
That's
but
a great
you can
doll.
flick it.
I know.
It's a great doll.
I'm already getting in trouble
quality.
from Steve's wife, by the way, because he wants to bring it home to the kids. And I was like, well, you can't. That's the one we have. And in 2 weeks, you may bring it home. And
2
they can
weeks?
slobber all over it.
All right.
Yeah.
You could do Jeff Hardy with it.
You could do that.
It's so sick.
Also want to mention that we have the Oshawa General Steve Dangle Podcast Night coming very, very soon, October 27th. Tickets are $40. It's going to be us at the game, and if you're an SDP fan, you're going to be in the same section. You just have to buy through the Oshawa General's website. It's all there for you, and you'll be sat in the same section with a bunch of people just like you.
Yeah.
Who love the SDP, just like you.
And Chapters Newmarket tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's great. I just want to mention on the Generals thing, we are doing a show afterwards as well.
No.
So that's also a part of this.
impossible.
It's not just like, hey, you can buy tickets to Oshawa. Yes, you can, but also we're going to be there and also then after do a show with you.
No,
and the
just
ticket
sit with us.
is admission with both. Yeah, or you could just come hang. Maybe we just need friends. Is that what it is?
We all. I think we all need
It's tough to make friends when you're older, you know?
Yeah.
It's tough to find people that like you.
So please come be my friend.
Yeah. So listen, as we start the show, gentlemen, I just want to ask you this real quick question. Okay? The Leafs are leading the division.
Let's go!
In points. But here's the winning percentage. 6-6-7.
It's happening.
Is it
effing happening, boys?
Jesse, is the curse lifted?
Yeah, because the Pacioretty thing, him scoring the first goal of the season, he's 67. Last time they were shut
not
out
that
to
old.
start the season, it was 1967. It was all meant to
Is that true?
Yeah,
I didn't know
the,
that.
the last time they were shut out to start a season was 1967.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's all the stars are aligning.
This is it. Now, are there any numerologists among us who watch and believe in numerology?
Yep.
Like that weird Jim Carrey movie.
Me.
Remember that?
The number 13.
Yeah,
It was really
and I
stupid.
wonder if any of you can point out any other 67s that you see, any 67s you see throughout this season.
Brandon Cozen's a scout with the team.
Is he?
No.
Okay.
I made that up.
That's great that you
It was believable.
That's awesome.
You
Yeah.
believed
So listen, midway through, and this is how I want to start. Midway through the game on Saturday, it was almost as though they listened to Friday's podcast. First off, on Saturday morning, they must have felt our presence, Berube specifically, because Jesse was there at morning skate.
I was.
Now, Jesse, for anybody that didn't
That's
hear the
all I
end
want
of
to talk
Friday's
about.
show,
Like, I don't even care about the game. I'm just so happy for Jesse.
for anybody that heard the end of Friday's show, you know this, but maybe if you didn't, Jesse, tell everybody what happened.
We're credentialed for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah!
So now I attend things like practice, and I was at practice today, morning skate on Saturday. They had an off day Sunday, and I'm in the press box during the games. And fun fact, my seat in the press box, there's a fun little story around it, but the seat I sit at is number 67.
Get out of here. There's no shot. There's no shot.
You have to take a picture.
I have a picture of it. The Maple Leafs assigned me to seat 67 in the press box.
It's on. They're gonna win. This is the year.
It's happening.
This is the year.
I can't show it because they're very protective of like things you can take pictures of and that
Leafs
sort of
PR
stuff.
staff have a sense of humor.
Here.
You can see there, Steve, like 67 SDPN.
Oh my God.
Jesse Blake.
Hey, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's crazy. It's 3 hockey news seats followed by us.
You know how? No.
No, I'm not allowed.
No, why are you doing that?
Why?
You're not allowed to say it. You're not allowed to say that.
I can't talk about how you're sitting next to a Latvian thing. That's cool.
I sat in the wrong seat initially.
You dumb idiot.
And then,
check out the new guy.
Our good friend James Myrtle alerted me to the board where you can find your actual seat.
Oh.
And my number was 67.
He's like, you're new here. You must be.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. 67 keeps coming up.
That's
Stanley
awesome.
Cup.
I'm so happy.
That's
morning
awesome.
skate. It was good. I don't know what the news out of morning skate. I forget.
Well, here's
Saturday morning.
Tavares was sick.
Tavares was sick.
JT, yeah.
Which apparently he was playing through that, according to you, Jesse. Apparently he was playing through that. Didn't Willie say that at the scrums today? That he was playing through that in New Jersey.
Yesterday.
So he scored that crazy ass goal and he was sick as hell. I was like, man, that badass John Tavares to start it.
He just ripped it. I mean, Southern Ontario in the fall. Everyone's sick.
Mm-hmm. He wasn't healthy enough to practice today. He was still out, so he might miss Wednesday, but we'll see.
The reason that I was bringing up people listening to our show on Friday, specifically the Leafs, is we suggested one key thing that after their first period, they adjusted to, which is on PP1. What happened, Jesse, Leafs reporter?
They switched it up.
That's right.
OEL, Nyes. They made the PP1 with Marner, Nylander, and Matthews.
Right.
Yeah.
And Marner, Matthews, Nyes, 5-on-5 have been sparkling this year when Riley and Tanev have been on the ice. We'll talk about that in a bit. But power play 1 has always been a bit of an issue for the Leafs because A, it goes dead in the end of February every year. B, it never really had a shot from the point. It had a shot from Austin Matthews. Mitch has a shot that, as we saw on Saturday when he uses, it's great.
They had a couple moves that had a really high percentage success rate if the move was pulled off. But pulling the move off was like 10%.
Right.
It led to a really stagnant power play. Like, they would get through power plays that didn't even look like they tired out the penalty kill. Like, it wasn't just, they didn't get scoring chances. They didn't. No, like, they were mostly just going back and retrieving the puck from their own end.
And let me tell you a little bit about Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who played 25 minutes on Saturday night.
That's probably too much, but good for him.
Already attempted 21 shots at 5-on-5.
Wow.
That's 3 more than Matthews, and he's 26th overall in the league in that. That's just attempted shots.
I love early season stats.
Early season stats are great.
Yeah.
But Jesse, you were there. You're watching. Steve, you're streaming.
I was.
You're watching.
I was. We were busy bees.
What do you see with OEL on the top unit that you don't see with Morgan Riley?
Morgan feels very stationary, and he feels like a facilitator, and you never actually believe he's going to shoot because he's not.
Right.
And if he is going to shoot, it's not going to do anything. He likes throwing on the floaters, and if you tip it, good for you. But otherwise, he's not going to do that. Like, am I reading that well? Like, OEL just feels like he's more active and he shoots with a purpose.
Yeah, it was. I was looking at the notes I was making during the game, and it was the late third period power play when PP1 stayed out for the entire 2 minutes. It was nearly the entire 2 minutes, and that's where you saw like, OEL can do some different things than Riley, where they're able to generate some chances. A lot of it's still like around the edges. They're not firing the puck as much as you'd like them to, but just being able to control the zone, and that way you saw it at the end of the game. It kind of come to life, because that's the only real complaint for the Leafs so far this season. Obviously, Matthew hasn't scored, but who cares, because they're winning, and the power play is not working. Okay, but who cares? They're winning. Yes. So the complaint is like, what can we work on here? And the power play is the one thing they can work on. So,
and I know Mark Savard's taken some heat already, and obviously there's conflict of interest there on account of we did a car commercial together. Ice surfing co-hosts once upon a time.
Do people think you won't be like objective on Mark Savard?
No one has said that. I'm just acknowledging it. I'm just getting ahead of it. But
I don't think that's a thing that's ever been said.
Give it time. Give it time. But what I'm saying is, the one constant, we did bring this up Friday too, has been the personnel. And I don't think that's coaching. Like, at the end of the day, players have their tendencies. And in times of panic, which a lot of being on the ice is, they're always going to revert back to that. You'll be able to pull off set plays and this and that and that. But ultimately, you do what you do. Marner is typically pass first. Domi is typically pass first. Austin wants to shoot. Riley is going to facilitate. Nyes is going to be a battering ram in front of the net, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So at some point, it doesn't matter at all who's behind the bench. It matters who's not on the bench. It matters who's actually out there.
And I do think they can do a better job of setting up Matthews. It's not like the Ovechkin power plays where he stands there and then you find a way to get him that one-timer. They could do a better job with that sort of stuff, because I feel like Austin carries the heavy load on this team a lot, and if people around him made it easier for him in a situation where you have a man advantage, I think they'd score some more goals.
For nearly 20 years, the Washington Capitals have tricked teams into thinking they're not passing to him. For 200
Well, and nobody wants to stand in front of his shot either.
Well, that too.
No one will get down and block that.
It's not fun.
Nyes, I was curious about him on the first power play unit because, like, again, you got to it's too early, so you kind of have to focus on what looks weak now.
It's too early, and they're good.
Yeah. So let's. I mean, and honestly, this was an issue for them late last season. I don't care where they finish. I don't care where they finished in power play last season. When it mattered, it stunk.
I do not care.
Don't care. And so Nyes moving there is also interesting as well. Because you got a shooter on who's a defenseman who can make a zone entry and shoot the puck. Now you've got a guy who is in theory big enough to get in front of the net and be hard to move. Did you see him doing that? Was he doing that? Was he shifting towards the net? Are we getting butts in front of the goalie's eyeballs? Are they looking at cheeks? They should be looking at cheeks at this point.
Yes.
Two big blue cheeks.
Clapping in.
Seriously.
Don't laugh. It's not funny. How dare you? I saw that a lot more 5-on-5. I haven't seen it enough on the power play, Jesse. Yeah.
Seeing
like Nyes' cheeks clapping in front of the net.
Yeah, I don't
on
think
the power play.
Yeah, I don't think he has adapted to that role yet. But like, there's so much room to grow for Nyes. Like, he's gonna be such a good player that I'm not like worried that he's not doing it right now, because he's gonna get to if that's the role they need. Like, he can get there.
There's going to be an opportunity to score some goals against the Kings if today's game against the Sens is any.
Hey, we're saving that for the BetMGM big story.
Well, I know.
I do want to say that I thought Josh Yohe from The Athletic had an interesting take on Saturday night's game afterwards. He said the fact is the Penguins aren't good.
Josh Yohe?
Isn't that how you say his last name?
Oh, I'm an idiot. They were playing the Penguins. I'm sorry. I thought you meant Josh Clohe, who covers
Josh Yohe from the Penguins.
I got what you meant.
I interrupted you to correct you, and I was wrong.
He says the fact is the Penguins aren't good enough to beat really good teams unless they control play for 60 minutes. They just don't have the margin for error anymore because they can't create offense at will the way they once did.
No, they beat themselves in that one. Like, they had some really good plays, but ultimately Crosby, who you very rarely see make a mistake, the Marner goal was kind of on his shoulders. And the first goal, the Domi Nylander goal, where they just gave them like a 2.5 on 0.
Yeah, and Domi still passed, by the way.
And that was...
I was like, that is such a Max Domi play, and it was perfect.
The leg kick and everything. Like, Joel Blomqvist, bless him, I thought he had a great game. Someone's got to be like... It's Max. He's not shooting.
Not shooting the puck.
He's not.
On defense, I think you guys would find this interesting. Jonas Siegel had some really interesting insights. He said it's
but not as good as Jesse.
He said it's only 3 games, 2 of which are against not so great teams in Montreal and Pittsburgh, and I agree with that. But the 5-on-5 numbers are striking. The Leafs have surrendered in these 3 games just 12 high danger shot attempts.
Shot attempts.
And only 2 goals.
Okay. I can look at that.
The Leafs have yet to give up a 5-on-5 goal when either of their top pairs, Tanev, Riley, Ekman-Larsson, McCabe, are on the ice.
And
wow.
And the Timmins Benoit were one of the Timmins Benoit ones. Benoit didn't have a stick.
Yes. Yes. Each pair has yielded just 2 high danger attempts on goal in their 30 minutes on the ice together. And then I thought this was also great too. The combination of Riley, Tanev, Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, and Matthew Nyes has been almost flawless. They've only played 9 minutes on ice together. Small sample size. Jonas says that.
Of course.
The Leafs, and I don't want to, do I have to do that every time?
Yes.
Okay. The Leafs are outchancing teams 12-3 when those guys are on the ice. 93% of expected goals. The other lines that's crushed it so far, Reeves, Kampf, and Lawrence, depending upon how you pronounce it. Shots are 12-2 for the fourth line for the Leafs in 11 minutes, though they have been outscored 1-0.
I know. Damn it. That's so not fair.
No. But isn't that cool? I just thought that's cool.
Dude, there's a lot to like. There's a lot to like about their start.
Yeah, and it's funny, against Montreal, there is a tendency with this team to make goalies that are good look like absolute all-stars in situations where they shouldn't,
But
right?
like they suppressed them decently too.
What do you mean?
Like 27 shots. That's okay.
We're talking about Montreal.
I know.
Yeah.
They
Oh, you mean they stopped Montreal? Oh,
yeah, they surrendered 27
the Leafs,
shots.
I'm like,
I
the
think
Leafs
it
had
was.
over 40 shots.
No, and then they had 47. Like,
Right. But the goal, the way that you can see a little bit now about what Berube wants and how he wants this team to score. Like I mentioned it last episode when Matthews drove Kovacevic into Montembeault. When you're seeing this, there's a lot more chaos. There's a lot more. I'm not seeing the insane. Like the one thing I'll say about their power play is they don't seem to be drop passing too much at the blue line.
No,
I like that. They seem to just fire it in and go after it a little bit more.
The number one thing Craig Berube is going to have to say this season is guys with increasing volume. So you get 47 shots. Very few of them are dangerous because you won't crash the net.
Yeah.
And before the next game against the Devils, you got to go guys. And then they go, okay. And they score the first 3 goals of the game. Right?
Right.
And then they win that game. And then they sort of forget and they have a terrible first period against Pittsburgh. And then you go guys. And they go, okay. And they score the next 3 goals against them. Like, they're always, especially at the beginning of the season, a team where you got to go, oh, hey, wake up.
Yes.
You have to get their attention.
Yeah.
And once you do, like, when they're engaged, they're crazy. When they're engaged and they don't have the playoff what if we lose mentality, like, they're really difficult to beat.
And the Holmberg Domi switch mid-game seemed to work really well, too.
That's the thing that kind of unlocked everything is when Domi got up to that second line. Because I thought Domi was the best player on the Leafs on Saturday night. Like, the amount of little plays he made all game long to just, like, he doesn't get enough credit for his hockey sense when he knows, like, okay, I'm going to make a play in the middle and the neutral zone here and turn over the other side. I'm going to make that extra pass here, which he always does because all he does is pass. But Domi was spectacular on Saturday, and moving him up, like, they unlocked something with that line. And it got Willie going. Like, I credit Domi for starting Willie's season off in the right direction.
Because Willie, he had that one shift in the first period against the Penguins where he got the zoomies and everyone was like, ooh. But, like, it didn't really lead to anything. And it was his last impressive shift of the period by my margin. But Jesse, here's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Because a bunch of people tweeted it at me. They're like, there's no cheering in the press box, guys. And I know that, and I do have a gear where I can suppress it. But there are moments where everyone in the press box reacts. Was the Domi ankle breaker on Rutger McGroarty one of them? Did that get a reaction in the press box?
No. I'm like there being like, oh yeah. But like on Saturday, no, everybody was pretty like, I'm in my laptop doing my work and that sort of stuff. Like,
so you can't even like watch a player just completely eat shit into the board and go, damn. Like you're not. It's not positive, negative. You're just like, damn.
There wasn't a lot of that on Saturday. I'll say that.
Okay.
Like there was a lot of just like neutral reactions. Yeah.
For anybody that didn't see it, should we bring that Rutger McGroarty?
When he got deep?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull that up. Domi.
I didn't know until after the game that it was McGroarty. Because I saw it in real time and I went, oh shit.
Right.
And he just completely got wrecked. Welcome to the show.
He did. And you know what? It's going to happen to a rookie.
Of course.
You expect that. I'm not saying that is some sort of hit against him, but man, it was bad.
There you go, Matty.
Here you go. So Domi just shifted right before that.
You could barely. Oh, who? The guy behind him? No, the cloud of ice.
He goes for the hit, goes for the blue line, and
man,
Domi is quick on his edges, eh? Like he can turn fast.
Yeah.
He's a really skilled player.
I wouldn't say like he's the like fastest straightaway skater, but in terms of like spinning and turning and working his edges and getting up and down the ice and changing direction, like he's one of the best out there.
I'm wondering how long it is. And they had a good game on Saturday, and their numbers are insane together. But I wonder how long it is before they give Matthews Domi another shot. I know that they're...
Not while Tavares is out.
Not while Tavares is out. Okay, that's fair. And if he's just dealing with the sickness, which again, Southern Ontario, everybody's sick right now.
He's down with it.
He might be... He'll probably be back Wednesday. At some point,
my guess, but
by game 20 or 30, I hope they've tried it. That's all I'm going to say.
I like Domi at center. I
didn't even know how his faceoffs were. Like I didn't even check that, but
above 50, I believe.
Great.
There you go.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I think Domi works at center, and I think as long as Tavares is out, you keep him there. And like even when Tavares comes back, maybe you found your solution with 3C.
I was thinking over the weekend, which would be amazing, right?
Yeah.
Because I think for them, everybody's gonna, there's gonna be people that are throwing a parade when Marner resigns, and then there's gonna be people who are bemoaning it. I think it makes a lot of sense to have the cap structure they have, if one of those guys, if they can find that center and they can have a 1-2-3 that's strong.
I'm not a stupid man. If if every game he has is like that one, he can stay.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So
I'll help build the statue.
So I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, so if they have, maybe they do find their answer with Domi at 2C and then Tavares. I'd love a Tavares, Pacioretty, Robertson. I feel like that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And think about how hard that is to match up against if you're any team.
You just need one line that isn't a liability. Like the Kawhi thing. Why is he in the game? They made that observation really quickly with Pacioretty, Robertson, Domi. Mm-hmm. The second I saw it on paper, I'm like, well, they're going to get hemmed in. It was their first shift.
Yeah.
They got hemmed in. They might score. They might even outscore you 2-1, but they are going to allow one.
What I like, though, is they seem to want to move off problems very quickly.
They went, nope. And Holmberg there, I'm like, yeah, of course. That makes sense.
My
That's way
favorite
better.
place for Robertson was with Willie and Domi. And I think Robertson, I know like his expected goals numbers aren't there, but if you're watching the game, you see he's doing a whole bunch of stuff that he wasn't doing last season.
Yes.
He's constantly moving, and you saw that directly through the 2 penalties he drew. Like Domi found him twice in this game, and both times Robertson had the puck on his stick and he was dangerous, and it caused 2 power plays for the Leafs. I think those little things, Craig Berube's noticed them, and Robertson's looked fantastic. I think him and Domi and Nylander are playing great.
Isn't it interesting?
They went to it was Holmberg, Patches, Robertson in the preseason. I don't know why they didn't start with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, they changed off it quick.
I think, too, since he's been back in, Bobby McMahon's looked really good. And it's so interesting because if you had said to a Leaf fan who has a vague understanding of Bobby McMahon and a vague understanding of the type of hockey Craig Berube likes, you'd be like, wow, that's a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
And yet
he didn't have a great preseason.
He didn't have a great preseason, wasn't on the opening night roster. And isn't that interesting? Now, he's come in, he's played really well. He's been the Bobby McMahon that we knew before the injury last year. But I think I thought that was really fascinating how it took a little while for that to come together.
Yes.
Because it's, when you say a little while, I mean like a month. Training camp, they weren't seemingly on the same page.
I mean, it took him, 20 games of just playing the role of a plug last year. And then they were going to healthy scratch him. Someone got hurt or sick or whatever it was. They threw him in. He scores a hat trick.
Right.
This guy had a semi-charmed little NHL career, right?
Well, I think he's also he's like Lorentz in the sense that he's just every minute.
Has a cup of coffee with the Leafs, scores his first NHL goal against Detroit. They call it back. And he never gets another one. He never gets another one during that call-up, if I'm not mistaken, and it wasn't until the next year that he got it. He's just had a fun little ride.
What do you think? What do you think will happen, guys? And Jesse, this apparently came up at the scrums today. Timothy Liljegren, Steve, you were tweeting about it. Can we start? I want to start first with what you found out down at the rink.
Yeah, so practice kicked off, and they're doing all their line rushes and everything, and Liljegren's up with Benoit. Ahead of everybody else, and so they're going all day. And then at the end of practice, they bring out Liljegren, and he talks a little about why he hasn't been in the lineup. He was very disappointed in the training camp he had, and we asked him if he had any reasons for hey, is there any reason why you had this disappointing training camp? And he couldn't really give a reason. He was like, it just fall the way I wanted to.
Didn't vibe.
Team,
He's still here.
He's still here. He's still trying, but he admitted like, yeah, it wasn't great, and I fell out of the lineup. But it looks like Berube said that most likely he's going to play Wednesday and be back in the lineup, which is the smart thing to do when you're paying a guy $3 million. You might as well use him.
Yes.
As Steve Dangle said today.
Yeah. I mean, like Timmins has been fine. Timmins has been fine. He hasn't been so fine that you keep that pairing intact when you have 2 spare D. Like, you just don't need to. One of them, like Liljegren, like the conversation with Liljegren was, I don't know if he's $2 million better than Timmins. He's better than Timmins, though. Like, he's probably better than Timmins. I just don't know if he's more than $2 million or almost $2 million better than Timmins. So he's honestly probably part of your optimal lineup right now. It's just, that $3 million is probably better spent elsewhere. But as long as you got him.
Yeah, and I understand when you watch all the defensemen and you see who's been in the lineup so far, I understand Treliving's philosophy around the big guys.
Why? Tell me about that.
You see the impact. Berube loves throwing guys to the boards and battling that way during practice. So like you'll see a lot of board battles and doing those drills. We saw that today. And Liljegren, when he's up against some guys who are bigger than him, and not just height-wise, but just physical size-wise, you see him have to compete a little harder for those battles to get those pucks. So if you're going to just default to, hey, if they're kind of equal in skill, I'm just going to pick the bigger guy. And it's probably going to work. That's the kind of hockey you want to play. So I understand why Treliving to Berube, looking at the lineup, they decide against Liljegren to start the season.
Now, Benoit and Liljegren's numbers last year were terrible. Terrible.
Oh, together.
They caved together. Yeah. And I think if you look at this Leafs team, I mean, yes, Benoit's taken too many penalties, but I mean, I've liked his play. And so I look at this Leafs team and I go, well, they have a definitive top 4.
He'll get cleaned up. It's fine.
And yeah, Benoit will get cleaned. I think they have a definitive top 5, right? I think that everybody. So there's one spot. So you got Connor Timmins.
Benoit, I think, is going to get scratched at some point this season. They're too deep.
Oh man, that's tough. That's so brutal.
I know,
but
it's not even a criticism.
No. But until like Hakanpää comes back, and that's just not even a thought right now. What do you need to see? What do you think Craig Berube needs to see from a Timothy Liljegren? Like, so Jess, you talk about those board battles. When you were talking to him today, and I don't know this because I've never been down to it and reported on a game. Was he on his skates or was he off?
What do you mean?
When he came out to talk to you guys?
He was in his shoes.
He was in his shoes.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you eye level with him, or are you taller than him?
No, I'm taller than him.
You're taller.
I'm taller than most people.
Yeah. I get that. You're 6'3", but like so they got him listed around 6 feet. But the NHL.
He's tallish
but he's not huge.
Right. Yeah. If you look at the right-handed defenseman ahead of Liljegren in the lineup, it's 6'3" Timmins, it's 6'3" Tanev, it's 6'5" Philip Myers.
Yeah.
Like there's 3 guys who are huge.
Yes.
It's if you're defaulting to size wins the end of the day, the battle, then Liljegren's going to lose out.
It's not size, it's meanness.
Right.
And he's not mean.
You want him to outcompete that size that he lacks there. And I assume that in the last couple of days in practice as the season started, they're going to give him that opportunity to try that. And you saw a little of that today when he's competing out in practice.
But one of the things that we've I think Leaf fans generally have been, I don't think anybody is concerned about a lack of skill. Everybody knows that there's skill there.
He can score.
What I see and what's frustrating as a fan is you go, can you show any emotion in front of your own net? Can you slash anybody? Can you move anybody? And that I think is going to be the thing to look out for Wednesday night.
That's the recurring complaint with him. And that's one of those things where I think as a coach, you're like, I'd really like to see that. That would really tie the room together. The thing that lost him his spot in the lineup was just dumb giveaways that lead to a 30-second fire drill in his own end, screwing up a breakout because he wasn't paying attention or he picked the wrong guy, like terrible body language. Like just, Tim, we're well aware of what you can do. We know what you can do. Keep it simple. It's fine. When the opportunity presents itself, we know you're skilled enough and a smart enough hockey player that you'll take it. You don't have to do that every play. So it's like the Nick Robertson thing. You don't have to make the team with every shift.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Get us.
You have a contract. You're good.
Get us to the next shift, and then the next one, and the next one. Just don't screw it up. You're on the third pair. That's a good night is a 0-0 night for you while you're on the ice. You're the third pair.
You shouldn't notice them at all in the third pair.
No.
Yeah.
We saw 3 games in 4 days. None of them featured Joseph Woll. Obviously on the IR. Not available until next Wednesday.
They're alive.
Where do we stand, Jesse?
He practiced. They hid him from us. It was funny.
Oh, they hid him from
Yeah, so they hid Joseph. It's funny to go to these things, and I'm learning the beats of how the Leafs operate from top down. So they can do certain things like hide guys afterwards from the media, and they can hide guys beforehand too. So Joseph Woll was out on the ice. Berube, I was going to say Chief, but I think it's really a little weird.
Call him Chief.
The media's called him
I don't
Chief. Yeah, I'm not on the team. Berube, he told us that Woll was out on the ice today before the practice. So he's been out skating, and they're taking it day to day, but they'll see how it is each day. But so he's skating around, which is a good sign, but it doesn't look like he's like close, you know?
Really?
So we'll see. They're taking it day to day. That's all they got for us.
Huh.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But he's skating.
Great opportunity for Hildeby. And great opportunity for Stallers, and they've both looked really solid.
Well, and the schedule is so light to start the season. Like Stallers is probably going to see a lot of games. They don't play until Wednesday, and I think they don't play until Saturday after that.
By the way, can I just say how annoying that is?
What?
Like we've waited so long, and they gave us 3 games in 4 nights, and then we get 2 in 7.
I know
weird.
it's wonky.
Screw you guys,
And
man.
it's weird because they're all at home.
Yeah.
It's a 4-game homestand, I'm pretty sure. And it's all spread out
Stretched over
like
a week
2
and a half?
weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
bizarre.
It doesn't make sense.
Their November schedule is super weird too.
Is it?
Like
I haven't
it's-
looked at it.
It's here, I'll bring it up. Just I had to get acquainted with the Leaf schedule just because of all the book tour scheduling and everything.
Yeah.
So okay, they play on the 2nd and 3rd. There's a back-to-back. 5th, 2 days off, back-to-back. 2 days off, back-to-back. 2 days off, and then they just don't play for the rest of the month, basically. They play on the 16th against Edmonton, 3 days off. 20th against Vegas, 3 days off. 24th against Utah, 2 days off. Wednesday against Florida, 2 days off, Tampa.
I'm gonna die.
I
need more
so
games.
much rest. Like, I don't know. You're gonna, if Wool's not back, you'll get to see Hildeby 3 times in November. That's kind of neat.
They have 3 games in 13 days.
yeah, man.
Why?
So
Because
Steve can sign more books.
Yeah, that's why. Damn it.
That's why.
That's why. And it's not all official yet, but we're filling it. Oh man.
So very quickly on Blomqvist, because I thought it was important for Pens fans to get this in here. He looked good, and I thought that
Good goalie.
Josh Yohe, and actually Josh.
Huh?
Yohe,
No.
He echoed a lot of kind of what I've hinted at. I know. Listen, I'm going into a Pens stream tonight, and already Pittsburgh fans are like, "Great, so I get to watch Adam for 3 hours trash my team," and I'm not going to do that. But I think Jari's an important one because lost his job for the final 13 games of the season last year. That's a month.
Yo, no
To
one.
Nedeljkovic.
Yeah.
You know, not even like to anybody
No.
that were like,
You
oh
lost
my
it to the
God.
guy who lost his job to
Yeah.
like. Well, I guess Ville Husso's not bad.
The
He's on waivers.
entire
now, too.
Hurricanes.
Yeah,
Like, it's no one has any patience with their goalie anymore.
Well, I think specifically with this guy, and
Well,
and
like
I
look
think-
around the league though. Like Husso was on waivers, right?
Yeah.
I think Colorado's going to get sick of Georgiev fast.
Georgiev? No, they call him
Forgiev.
Forgiev.
They called him, which is
That's
mean.
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 It's also pretty catchy.
Yeah.
No, like people just don't have patience with their goalie anymore.
Jari permitted 6 goals in the 6-0 loss to the Rangers opening night. Blomqvist played well against Detroit in a 6-3 win. I thought he did well against Toronto.
Yeah, that was it. Like that simple start against Detroit was enough for them, Mike Sullivan, to be like, "Yep, you get the next."
That's how much they don't like Tristan.
That's how much Tristan Jarry's like teetering. You know,
Yeah.
They already got one game.
and that's it. And the other guy looked at least decent, so you don't get the next one.
Listen, I hate to say that I said so, but on July 1st, 18 months ago or whatever it was, 2023, I said that's a really weird contract and they shouldn't have signed it.
Who, Jarry's?
Yes.
He's one of the most mystifying goalies in the league.
Because he can be amazing.
Every year you look at his stats and you're like, this is this is like a well above league average goaltender.
Yeah.
How come every time the game really counts, he's unusable?
And that's what Pens fans keep asking.
I don't get it.
They all will tell you that. They're like, yeah, he's great until you really need him to be great.
He was an all-star, I think, as a rookie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
oh,
crazy.
yeah. There's a reason they moved off of Murray very quickly. It was like, yeah, no, we can.
They won 2 cups with that guy, and he took 1 step backward, and they're like, throw him straight in the bin.
Yeah.
We are
Send
all
him
in
to
on
Ottawa.
Jari.
With the Penguins, they started off good on Saturday. Like, it was a good little bit for them, and they got the goal and everything. But once the game got into flow of everything, you mentioned it a little, it's just you see how much they're lacking up and down the lineup. Like, having Beauvillier, no offense to him, but having him with Crosby and Brian Rust, it's like, that's not enough.
That's such a Kyle Dubas line.
That's not enough for your first line to be a playoff team.
In defense of Kyle, they have, at different times during his career, always done this to Sidney Crosby.
Had no one there, but when it's that, and then you go down the rest, and there's nothing there. It's not like they have the third line like when they went like with Kessel and then when the Bonino line. When
Malkin has consistently gotten better line mates.
Yeah, and he's getting bunting right now, and Malkin's getting blessed with bunting, and it's just
bunting should be on the Penguins' first line.
They lack so much in that forward group. It's just not enough.
Right, and that was Rust's first game back, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
So like, it's a little unfair to judge him.
Yeah.
But Beauvillier, I think at this point, the guy's been on like 4 teams in 5 years. I don't know how much of that's his fault, but I would say that I think teams know what he is. I think Pittsburgh knew what he was.
I don't think anyone's gotten to know him for long enough to know.
Well, maybe not. Yeah, maybe nobody knows who he is.
Holy smokes.
But you look at the Penguins team, and again, this isn't a trashing thing. It's my question with the Penguins is always, where are they going? What's the ethos? Where are you headed towards? And
there's parts there.
Of course.
I know.
Of course, there's parts there.
I know. That decor's
but
House of Horror.
Absolutely,
it's not
and
great.
it didn't
What
need to
team
be.
doesn't have parts?
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? You know who else has parts? The Ducks. They got lots of parts.
They do
There's
legitimately
so many parts.
I know.
All cars have parts.
Yeah.
Do they
Sabres. Holy shit! Did I get fooled by their parts?
Yeah, no kidding. It's not been a
my
great start.
God.
We can talk about them later.
Yeah.
But and this is where I'm going to segue into our next thing here. In a normal game, when you've got Crosby and Malkin going against the Leafs on a Saturday night, you
The
expect
milestone up in the air.
them both to hit their milestones, and only one of them did. And so for the BetMGM big story, we're going to talk about the one guy that did. So Evgeny Malkin hits 1,300 points. He is the 3rd person still skating that has 1,300 points plus. The next closest to him is Patrick Kane, who is only 16 points behind. So all things going well in Detroit, Patrick Kane will be the 4th player, but it's Ovechkin, Crosby, Malkin, and then possibly Kane, if he stays healthy later this year, he'll pass that. It's a big deal. It's great that Crosby didn't get goal 500 against the Leafs. But let's talk about point 1,600, not goal 500. What am I saying? He's 8 away from 600 goals. I want to talk about the Evgeny Malkin effect on the NHL, because it's always been Crosby and it's always been Ovechkin. And then Geno, who is just as good, is the guy that's sort of left off.
You need more than one. Like, almost every great ever, like we're talking Mount Rushmore guys, has Robin, right? Wayne Gretzky
Messier.
had Mark Messier and a cast of others, but Mark Messier. Connor McDavid has a cast of others, but Leon Draisaitl. And there's a very obvious one and a very obvious two. Lots of guys have their guy. Mario had Yager and Francis and I saw a funny list. It was like naming the top 20 players of all time or something. And I think this was on TikTok, and someone put Francis there. And I'm like, there's no shot. I don't care where he ended up in all-time scoring. He was the 3rd option on his best teams.
Yes.
No, you can't be a top 20 player. I'm sorry. Unless we're talking like an international team. Are we talking Team Canada? No, just the Penguins. Get out of here. That doesn't mean he's not like an extraordinarily good player deserving of the Hall of Fame or all that. But that's what we're talking about. And if you were a Leaf fan on Saturday and you felt a chill crawl up your spine when Malkin got the puck, even a worse chill than when Crosby got the puck, you're not crazy. And I'm here to tell you that. Producer Hayden gave me a stat sheet, and this is out of date now because this is before this game,
Okay,
where Crosby and Malkin both pulled up points. Sidney Crosby has played more games against the Leafs than Evgeny Malkin and produced less points.
Wow.
He has, in 53 games, this was heading into the last game, put up 68 points. That's great. That's crazy. You know he is basically guaranteed to get a point against you. And he's still not as good as Malkin, who, heading into last game, in 46 games played, had 69 points.
That's crazy.
He's now up at 70. And here's how goofy Lemieux was in 33 career games against the Leafs. 31 goals, 40 assists, 71 points. And I was trying to figure out why did he only play 33 games against the Leafs? And Hayden wisely pointing out, the Leafs were in the Western Conference when Mario Lemieux was tearing it up. I totally forgot about all that.
The one thing I think people either don't realize or forgot is how good Malkin is without Crosby. Because the 2011-2012 season, when Sidney Crosby only played, I think it was 22 games.
Yep.
That was the season that Malkin won the Hart Trophy, won the Art Ross, won the Tanner Pearson.
He got the original Draisaitl Hart.
What is that?
Leon Draisaitl got a Hart a few years ago, and it was largely due to McDavid missed time. And yes, he had an incredible season. He had like an MVP worthy season. But like, let's not mince words. A big reason why he got it is Superman wasn't there. And that's what Malkin did with Crosby that year.
When you're missing the number one guy, you're like, okay, who's going to step up? And Malkin's like, no, I can just be the number one guy because I don't have my Batman to my Robin here, but like I can fill in for that. And he did it. And 50 goals, 59 assists, and the Hart Trophy. You know, he was
50 goals.
He was perfectly fine without Sidney Crosby.
Yes. Yeah. And I think the thing that goes underrated about Geno, unless you're a Pens fan and you know this, off by heart, is how angry the guy plays the game.
Violent.
Like Crosby early on in his career got a lot of crap for the fact that he whined to the refs a lot. There was a lot of whiny Crosby memes out there when memes were just being created, whatever. Geno never whined. He just attacked.
Crosby's chippy. Geno's nuts. Yeah. That's the difference. Okay?
That's the difference. I saw Malkin smash his stick down to the ground in the morning skate when the Penguins were out there because they were doing a power play drill and he just like missed the net and he was so pissed. Like the dude's competitive all the time and he was so upset because he just had a bad shot that one time, but you can see what he expects of himself. He expects in practice when we're doing this power play drill, I'm gonna hit the net, you know, and he was pissed.
Thank God he plays hockey. Like I wouldn't want him just walking about in regular society. Like that guy needs to be a hockey player.
But he also does that.
Yeah, but he's tired from playing, is what I think. So he's not getting like someone cuts him off at the gas station.
What about August?
Yeah.
Nah, he's fine.
Oh, he's good.
So he's on a beach.
So the big thing will obviously be to watch the Sidney Crosby hit 1,600 career points this season.
Player ever.
He will also hit 600 goals very likely this season. And Ovechkin is the next one we're going to watch after that because he's at 853 goals and he's closing in on Gretzky. And we just don't know if it's going to happen this year or next.
Or
it'd
be crazy if he fell short. Like to me, that's a story in itself.
No, he can't. Not at this point. You got to play like Yager games.
How many goals did Gretzky have in his last season?
8 or 9.
9.
And that's when he's like, I got to hang it up. He still had 50-something assists. Like, he was still an amazing playmaker.
He did not have a bad season.
No.
Sometimes it falls off, and it falls off hard.
Don't you dare.
You never know. You never know.
That's your BetMGM big story. Okay, guys. Is it too early to hit the way too early panic-o-meter?
Depends who we talk about.
What team?
We're going to talk about the only team where it's even possible that they've lost 3 in a row. And that is the Edmonton Oilers. Now, we all know how last season went. I get it. They started, 2-9-1 or something? 2-11?
Yeah. Whatever
it was. They are 0-3-0 right now.
Did you see Wyshynski's tweet?
No.
What do you Fire Woodcroft.
Their differential in goals is double. They're 32nd in the league. They are double the next goal differential, which is -6. They're a -12 in 3 games.
It's going to stay that way, too.
3 goals for, 15 goals against. I know that it's early, but you would not have expected the Oilers to have a start like this. Is that fair, guys?
But you compare like the how much is it over meter, And the Buffalo Sabres, who are 1-3 and with a -4 differential, there, how much is it over meters at like an 8? You know, and Edmonton's is at like a 2.
You also can't you can't put too much into individual games. Like the Sabres are 0-3. They play Florida. Oh, well, they're dead. Nope, they beat Florida and they're fine.
Right. And
so Buffalo's better than Florida. That's how it works.
Yeah,
no.
It works.
Right? It's games happen. You put more into the trend. There are bits though that I'm worried about with Edmonton. There's bits. Number one, Stuart Skinner, who emerged into a goalie I thought could win the Stanley Cup and could steal games, has looked terrible. I'm sure he'll be fine. He doesn't look fine right now. I saw the second defensive pair of the Oilers on paper is Nurse Dermott. Sir? Are you all right?
Jeff Jackson.
Who told you that was
Jeff
okay?
Jackson guy. Dermott's a Jeff Jackson guy. Connor Brown.
Okay, he
Jackson
can be
guy.
on your team. He can be on your second pair. And
Man,
with Nurse?
What are these? The 2019 Leafs?
Dude, that's freaking... What are you doing?
I know.
Yeah, you got rid of one in Cece to bring in another in Dermott.
I know.
That's insane. But the most concerning one, there was a goal the other night where McDavid looked awful. I think it was Mike Gould on Twitter, and you don't see people posting this very often when a goal gets scored against the Oilers, but he goes, watch 97 on this play. And it wasn't that he looked lost out there or lazy. He looked uncomfortable.
What I didn't like that because, like, what's the context of that shift? You know,
that's
you
fair.
isolate one play where McDavid's getting beat. Was he out there for 90 seconds and the other dude just got on the ice?
Yeah.
Like, what's the context? I never like when people just isolate 10 seconds of a hockey game because there's no context around it.
Very fair point.
You know, one thing I was looking at with on moneypuck.com was their shooting percentage. And it's last in every category.
Of course it is.
So, one, they're 31st in PDO. So that's an important note where they're not getting lucky at all. They're only ahead of Colorado right now. But their shooting percentage
Who also haven't won.
Who also haven't
That's crazy.
Or they're only 0-2.
That might be the Western Conference Final, and neither of them have won.
Their shooting percentage on shots that hit the net last. Shooting percentage on unblocked shots, so clear shots at the net that are not blocked last. And then shooting percentage overall last. They're not getting lucky at all in these 3 games.
Goals called back first. Tied for first. Like, yeah, everything that could have gone wrong so far has gone wrong. I don't think that'll continue.
Okay, then what about the 0-2 Colorado Avalanche, who have scored 8 goals but let 14 in 2 games? Forgiev might not be enough.
I think their meter is higher than the Oilers' meter.
Okay.
On the how much is it over? Because the goaltending seems like a real problem. Like the Oilers,
I thought they might claim Husso.
Yeah,
I really did.
Me too. Because with the Oilers, you can't really point to an individual thing. You can't say Stuart Skinner is like washed or anything. He just went to Stanley Cup final.
He's fine.
Draisaitl and McDavid will get it going eventually. The defense, like, okay. The Dermott thing's not great.
No.
But it's not a problem yet.
I don't have a problem with him being like your 7th defenseman.
Right.
Like the fact that he's in your top 4 is slightly psychotic.
But with Colorado, you say the goaltending is an issue, and it's an issue now. And it's going to be an issue unless you solve it moving forward.
You got to give Annunen a run here. I think it's like, is he hurt? Am I missing something?
Not that I've seen.
Like, what you have 2 options here. You let your starter play through it and figure it out, or you go to the other guy. The trend league wide is starter be damned, go to the other guy.
Right.
And just figure it out.
And I mean, that's sort of what happened with Jack Campbell last year. He fell off. Stuart Skinner,
Skinner
was
was worse.
Stuart, I know.
People forget Skinner was worse. Campbell went down to the AHL.
But he found it.
Yeah, he did find it. But Campbell went down to the AHL as an 870 something, which is unusable. Skinner was an 860 something, which is worse. So he's worse than unusable. And
but the reason
who saved their season? Calvin Pickard.
That's right. Well, and I look at but the reason that they didn't send Stuart Skinner down is everybody knew he would find his game, and nobody was going to claim him.
I think there's something to the idea that goalie wins are an entirely useless stat. So Georgiev is consistently among the top because he plays so much and he wins all the game. His fan base still calls him Forgiev, and he started this way.
Yeah.
I think my stat at the beginning of the season was 13 goalies have won 50 games over the last 2 seasons combined. Ilya Samsonov is one of them. Vitek Vanacek is another. Martin Jones won 28 games 2 years ago, straight up saved the Leafs season midway through last year. He doesn't have a job.
Yeah. He put Seattle in the playoffs.
Yes. Yes. Like, wins don't matter. Like, people,
Yeah.
there's goalies who can get you to 2 points, and there's goalies who give you a chance to win a playoff.
Yeah, and Justus Annunen, he picked up the loss in their second game because he's played both of their goalies has played both games.
That's a great start.
Shit.
That's
because
good.
it's awful. And like he let in the first game, it was 2 goals on 4 shots to
Annunen.
Yeah, to close out the Georgiev mess. And then in the second game, he gets the loss. You know,
That's so ass.
He allows
Oh my
2 goals on 13 shots in that game. So it's just the whole goaltending thing is a mess there.
You really expect Georgiev to be better than that.
Yes. But
Or can you?
You don't have time.
Maybe not.
It's been 2 games and both times it's been horrendous.
Goalies have been going on waivers, and they haven't bitten on any of them. Like, who got Kakinen? Didn't someone claim
Off of Winnipeg, yeah. Who stole him?
Capo Kakinen? Like, you're at try something anything territory here.
The reason you can't claim Husso is that 4.7.
I understand.
4.75. You know, I don't think Colorado has that space to do that.
So he's got the 1 year left at 4.75. If you can get Detroit to retain here, why not?
Right. And it was Colorado who claimed Kakinen.
Oh, it was Colorado who
yeah,
claimed
yeah.
Kakinen. Well, that makes
So
sense.
there you go.
So I said you got to give Annunen a run. I mean, how close to just ditching Georgiev altogether are you?
How soon does Kakinen get one of these 2 jobs? You know, starter or backup?
Well,
but
all he has to
he-
do is presumably win one.
It's not like the
Win a
last
game.
few years have gone awesome for him.
No, there's a reason he was Eric Comrie beat him out in Winnipeg, you know, and there's a reason that he's on waivers.
Yep. If you've ever been lost abroad or badly needed an internet connection with no Wi-Fi spot in sight, you will understand the difference between that and a local SIM card. And here's the thing. Local SIM cards can be a little bit tricky to get.
Well, gosh, Adam, do you have any solutions?
I do. We have an eSIM, and it's called Saley. And it's a product of NordVPN, who we worked with, who are all about the internet security. Saley is an eSIM that it has to be installed only one time. It eliminates the need for you to install an eSIM when you go from country to country to country. You see? Now, it's important because they've got eSIM plans that are available in over 160 countries. So, Maddie, as we mentioned, I had a friend actually say to me this summer, did Maddie get deported because she spent the whole summer in Europe?
Oh,
And-
wow.
Yes, but that's another story.
Adam, I was wondering, when you're on your private jet
Yes.
and you're going around the world,
Yes.
do you use this product?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Because on my private jet, one of my key things is I don't want to spend money that I don't have to.
Right.
And an eSIM really
Because you're
helps me with
cheap
that.
because you're a billionaire.
Absolutely. That's how I became a billionaire. I am cheap. I'm not giving money away.
Yeah.
You don't run out of data either. They'll notify you when you've used 80% of your data. So when I'm flying around on my airplane on TikTok, just streaming, not even using the
You're
airplane
FaceTiming
Wi-Fi.
Jerry Jones and you're saying, oh, you got so much money.
Yeah, I'm like, Jerry, we should both run your team together.
Yeah.
And he's like, yes, I agree. Anyway, long story short, use Saley, Saily, anytime. You download it once, and it's good to go. And that's what's so great. Now, let me tell you about the deal that we have for you.
Oh.
It's a deal. 15% off for the next time you go traveling. Go to Saily.com/dangle. We'll give you 15% off. You can try it.
Steve's name.
But
that he
his last name.
made up for himself.
His last name.
I think.
Yeah, not your real last name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dangle. Dangle. 15% off Saley data plans right now. Check them out. The next one I want to ask you on the deserve to freak out meter is another team that I would not expect to see at 0-2 to start, which is the Nashville Predators, a team I've been particularly high on. Only 3 goals for. This team was supposed to be a team that could finally score. They've only allowed 7 goals, which for a team that has played a couple of games, that's not bad, right? But you look at, and again, we're 2 games in as of this recording. This can all change tomorrow.
Just
That's what's so fun about the early season. But Nashville Predators need to score goals.
Yes.
They need Steven Stamkos to do this. They need Jonathan Marchessault to do this.
Yep.
If you're them, is there any level of concern? Because Colorado, very clear that they are. Otherwise, they're not pulling a goalie off of waivers. This early, right?
Colorado's problem is, all our goalies are healthy and they stink. Nashville's problem is, one of our best goalies in the league is hurt. And you could pretty easily explain that away.
And also, they even if Saros had been in, if he'd allowed 7 goals in the first 2 games, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Right? So whatever.
You go, it's UC, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
No, that's a big from me. They took a while to get started last year.
Yep.
I think they're going to be totally fine. And Stamkos and Marchessault.
Set them up with an early season U2 concert and just pull it away from them.
Hell yeah. Here, let me just check. When are they in town? And when are we not? We're not friggin' going. I'm going to take them to see Megalopolis instead.
Oh, man. Just
Yes.
make them mad. Super mad.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Okay. Just wanted to check in on those. Those are the 3 worst teams in the NHL by standings currently. Edmonton, Colorado, and Nashville. And by the way, the bottom 4 is Carolina at 29, and another playoff team, the Washington Capitals at 28.
Dude, I love the beginning of the season.
But whatever, who cares? Now, here's my ask of you guys, okay? There are 7 teams that haven't got a win yet. Actually, hold on. That's a lie. There's more
You
than that.
stupid idiot.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams that have not got a win yet.
Holy crap, really?
The Canucks, the Sharks, the Islanders, the Capitals, the Hurricanes, Predators, Avalanche, and Oil. Okay? Mm-hmm. Of those 8, who will be the last team to win a game?
Oh, this is good.
Now, this isn't exactly fair because the Caps and Hurricanes have only ever played, 1 game this season. Their fans must be starving. I'm sure they're playing later today. But what do you guys think?
Okay.
Who's the last one to put a W on the board?
So I'm just going to go with what's the most fun, which is unquestionably one of the Oilers or Canucks. Unquestionably. Oilers.
You know Oilers.
It's more fun.
Wow. Jesse.
That's mean.
It is more fun.
I'm rooting for you, Edmonton.
I'm punching up. They were in the cup final.
That's true. I'm going to go with Washington.
Really?
They didn't have a first game, but it's literally 1 game. You can't take. Everybody has a bad game.
Boo, your practical answer. You
But
suck.
I'm going to go with Washington.
Is the least likely, they will be the last.
They're
team in
going to
the
be
NHL.
the last team in the NHL this season to get a win.
Wow.
The Capitals.
Boo.
Wow. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, and then they're going to probably win today.
Now I would put.
I'm going to be wrong.
I'm gonna go with the most practical, which is the San Jose Sharks, because Celebrini, and he's on my fantasy teams. Both of them.
Yeah, that's rough.
Is on IR.
You big idiot.
And one of them Yahoo has it listed as he's an IR guy. ESPN says he's day to day, which is crap because now I can't claim.
oh, I hate that. Oh, that's
Oh,
the
crap.
worst.
No, he should be on IR.
I know he should. He should.
Ducks are 500. Are they winning the division? You have to
I don't
ask
know,
the question.
man.
Why you
That's,
like?
that's tough. I don't
We
know.
have to see.
Now, this morning, there was some footage from practice that we can't play of Rasmus Dahlin and Peyton Krebs
Oh, yeah.
beating the absolute shit out of each other after Rasmus Dahlin dropped a massive hip check into Peyton's thigh knee area.
Yeah.
And people were like, man, Buffalo just got their first win. Do they really need this?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's funny that just afterwards, and Jesse, I'm going to send this to you. There was an Instagram post by Peyton Krebs
Oh, great.
referencing the incident. Now,
Just
rumors-
putting out the fire.
the rumors are that Krebs may have hurt Dahlin in practice at some point in the preseason.
Yeah.
Which is because Dahlin was hurt in the preseason.
Sure.
Okay. And so here's what Lindy had to say about it before we get to Peyton's thing.
Can I, with that little tidbit
Yeah.
that Krebs hurt Dahlin in preseason, I don't care. Like, with regard to today's incident, I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just.
Anyway, okay, continue.
So Lindy said, boys will be boys. Rasmus got bumped the drill before and then evened up the score. I wouldn't read too much into that. We want competitive practices.
Okay, fair.
And remember, this was a hit that turned into a fight. They both dropped him afterwards and the team had to split it up.
Sure.
So here's what Peyton Krebs posted on his Instagram.
Let me guess. He's hugging Rasmus.
It's pretty close. He's about to.
He's
about to. So we're pulling it up. Here we go. He said, hugging my best friend when we score at Rasmus Dahlin, which I think is great.
It's a picture of them on the ice. I like that. Listen. Teammates scrap at practice. I'm not going to finger wag at that at all. I thought throwing that hit was really stupid, especially for a kid, essentially. He's a kid who just got named captain. How much older is he than Peyton Krebs? Like, they're probably about the same age.
Yeah.
I just thought it was really stupid. Like, you're such a thin team. Isn't Krebs on like their first line or something like that? Or he was...
Dahlin is a year older than Krebs.
You're worried about an injury.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, and yes, you can get injured fighting. All I'm saying is I've seen fights at practice. I've never seen hip checks at practice.
That was
what the hell is that?
It's a big hip check.
I've never seen that. And then he goes right at Krebs like he's the one who threw the hip check.
Well, it was clearly from some other point in time, but they obviously chatted about it in the dressing room.
Yeah, and it's cool that they're boys again and everything's fine and whatever. I think the reason it's fine and it's no big deal is no one got hurt.
Yes, of course. Well, nobody got hurt, so why are we worried about it?
But no thanks to Rasmus.
No, hey, that doesn't sound like a question that we were worried about.
You know what's going to suck when they rip 5 straight wins, and this is why it happened?
Yeah, I can't wait for you to get clipped, and that's going to be passed around.
I don't give
Twitter.
a shit.
The Ottawa Senators won an absolute barn burner today, 8-7 this afternoon. Now, what's lost in this, if you haven't been paying attention, is the goalie that got them their first win, Linus Ullmark, at home, is injured. So they brought up Mads Sogard, and Anton Forsberg started. What happened midway through this game? Anton Forsberg got injured, so Mads Sogard had to come in, and it was wild.
Sogard's a good goalie, so I'm not going to blame this game on him.
Well, no, anytime a goalie has to sub in, it's not ideal.
Right. Like, we were just talking about, like, Annan and his stats compared to Georgiev, and, you know, he was bad in relief.
Sure.
But it's a skill. It's a skill to come in cold. Boy, though. 8-7. You know what? You're burying the lead here. Trevor Moore, I'm in your friggin' walls. 2 shots on goal, 1 hit. That's all you got me in fantasy. In an 8-7 game, Trevor.
Quentin Byfield apparently was zeros on the stat line, too. People.
What?
I know.
Kevin Fiala, 2 goals. Good boy. Penalty. Didn't like it. 2 goals.
I have him.
Good guy. Trevor Moore. Friggin' shitless.
I feel bad for Mads Sogard because obviously he was in and he only played a few minutes, but like part of the game, but I had 4 goals against in that time. So
Ontario teams just don't know how to have a normal one day. Like the Sens, have they had a normal game yet?
I don't think so. No.
They're fun.
Yeah,
like, they're a lot of fun, like even when they're getting their ass kicked. The Brady Tkachuk, Lane Hudson stuff.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about that next. That's what's next up. I do want to talk about that.
Sure.
Well, I guess we can. Do you want to hit it now?
Sure. Why
So
not?
okay, if you didn't see it, we can't really play the highlight. But Lane Hudson was behind his own net, looking to make a breakout pass, and he shifted right and he shifted left, and Brady Tkachuk is in front of, the Montreal goalie, and he's trying to block him off, and Lane Hudson keeps going back and forth, whatever.
It was last year's Sens in a nutshell. Sens are getting their ass kicked, and Brady's the only one out there trying.
Yeah.
They were down 4-1, and he's doing that.
And Montreal really did run him over.
Yeah.
And so Lane ultimately does make the breakout pass and whatever, but then they go to the bench, and Brady Tkachuk is chirping Lane Hudson.
And then what happened? Lane Hudson helped set up the next goal. How do you like them apples?
Well, so a lot of people were like, why is the other team's captain chirping at a defenseman who basically just juked him, just made him look a little silly?
It's Brady trying to galvanize his guys again, which he has to do way too often. So they won 8-7, right? It wasn't.
Yeah, they did. Stutz landed it in overtime.
So, oh my God, it went to overtime.
Yeah, it went to overtime.
Fans really got their money's worth.
Norris scored in overtime.
Oh, it's Norris. Sorry, my bad. Okay. Nice to see Norris scoring.
There you go. One of the
Drusilla assisted.
There you go.
Him and Batherson.
There you go. No, he I think he's a good captain, and when he ever plays in the playoffs, he's going to be an enormous problem. But he is. I don't know how many players in the NHL try harder than Brady Tkachuk to get his guys going. He tries so damn hard.
Is that a function of who he is, or is that a function of where the Senators have been team chemistry wise?
Imagine your brother was Matthew Tkachuk.
Yeah. Would that bother you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would piss me off.
Okay.
Just a little bit. And like, I think he was a really competitive guy before his brother decided to wreck the entire world.
Right.
Give Brady Matthews supporting cast. I think he'd do okay. But he hasn't had that exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea. The Sens are a great team to follow because you do not know what version of them is showing up any given night.
Right. Right.
Are they going to get run out of the building by the Habs and get nothing accomplished? Maybe. Are they going to hang 8 on the Kings with their third stringer in net? You bet. They're fun. They're fun. You got to admit they're fun.
I'm looking at the box score, and the breakdown is interesting because both teams won 2 periods. So the Kings.
Wait.
There was overtime.
Yeah, I guess. Well, not 2 periods, but yeah, because there's 4, right? So if you look at it,
that's gotta be rare.
Actually, it's 2-1. So you had, I'm wrong here. Ottawa 2-1 in the first. LA scored 3 in the second, but Ottawa scored 4.
Love that.
And then they each scored 2 in the third frame, and I got that mixed up. And then OT.
You
Ottawa
stupid idiot!
I know, big dummy, stupid head. Yeah, I mean, Brandt Clark with 3 assists, Anze Kopitar with 3 assists, Fiala 2 goals, Kempe with 2, and then you have Batherson 3 points, Norris 3 points, Stützle 3 points. Those are the guys you want scoring. I don't look at this game for Ottawa as anything other than well, you've lost your first 2 starters or whatever. If I'm LA, I'm a little worried.
Dude,
it's not great.
This is the time of year in fantasy hockey where you just don't even dress your goalies.
I don't have a choice in my leagues. I have to.
Oh, yeah, you need a certain amount of starts.
Yeah.
Damn, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
No, because just defenses are friggin' horrible. It's the last thing to come to teams. They don't figure it out. They just, I don't know. I don't really understand the coach yet, and we're down 2 goals, so whee! And they just do whatever they can. It doesn't matter. There's no structure. It's pond hockey out there. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a bunch more games like that.
Darcy Kemper was on for all 8 goals against.
Oh my! What other goalies they got?
That's a really good question. Yep. Yeah, it sure is interesting.
Dave Rittich is the backup in LA.
Oh, that's great. I like that.
When
cool
did half the teams in this league not have a goalie? Like, when did that happen?
Are you disappointed with the talent of the goalie pool in the NHL?
I mean, there's a lot of teams where you're like, oh, I could use a goalie. I could use a goalie pretty bad. And the Kings are probably one of them.
Mm-hmm. I don't think there's like 32 guys right now you'd say are bona fide starters.
No.
I think right now we're trending towards an era where tandem goaltending is going to be the favorite. You know, and you can probably win with that throughout the entire regular season. Then you kind of pick a guy when you get to the playoffs.
It's kind of, I don't know. I feel like the Bruins should have just hoarded Allmark. Just hoard him. Yeah. Just keep him.
Right.
Who cares?
I look at a situation like the Islanders, who have like a clear number 1 in Ilya Sorokin, but when push comes to shove at the end of the season, like last year, Varlamov takes the job.
Yeah.
You know, it's his. We're going to the playoffs. You're the hot hand. You're going to be the starter these last 2 weeks of the regular season and into the playoffs. And that's more of the norm than, hey, we got Martin Brodeur or Patrick Waugh or Curtis Joseph or Belfour, whoever we want to name, and we're going to play them for 70 games. That doesn't happen anymore.
It's so much more about who's hot. Oh, man, I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about the Four Nation face-off this winter. And they're like, how long does Sam Montembeault need to play like this before he's on that team?
Oh, CJ, wasn't it?
Was it CJ?
Yeah, CJ he had tweeted it, and then Julian asked him about it on the show.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's for the Olympics and the Four Nations. Montembeault's got to be in consideration here.
Well, because it's like Binnington, Aiden Hill,
and
Skinner.
Yeah.
Who, like, what if Skinner's still playing like ass in January?
No, Montembeault's easily right now in the top 3, probably top 2 conversation.
Minimum top 5, yeah.
Minimum top 5, yeah. Like, who's after on that list? Aiden Hill, Jordan Binnington, Stuart Skinner, Sam Montembeault. Who's 5?
Let me throw a name in there that's going to piss a lot of people off, but if he plays enough games and he plays well enough, he'll be in there. Anthony Stolarz.
I guess
Yeah.
he's 5.
They said they're going to evaluate every game.
Dude, at the World Hockey Championship, they sent both Blues goalies. Don't tell me it's not possible.
Okay, so I want to. It's
Who you
so
counting?
interesting.
What do you
Who
count?
are you counting?
I'm counting the amount of games goalies used to play versus what they do now. This is why it's jarring for people our age because we grew up in an era where Marty Brodeur would play 73 games.
Yep.
And I'm looking at the season where he did in 2002-03. And he played 73 games. The next 5 guys after him also played over 60. And I look at the amount of goalies that played over 60 games last year, and it is 3.
3 guys.
So it's half. That's cut in half.
What is the most unbreakable record in hockey, fellas?
The wins in a season. is
Actually,
it
hold
not?
on.
Nope.
I'm lying
No,
to you.
what?
I don't know what the record for
Hold
wins in a
on.
season.
Let me correct this. This is even more intense than I thought.
Okay.
So crazily enough, I was looking at wins. Brodeur had 73 games played, 41 wins. There is a guy that played 77 games that year in 02-03. You will never get this. And you'll never get the team. You'll never get it.
Fuhr?
No.
There was a season where he played nearly
Yeah,
every
it's
game.
no.
Belfour.
Mark Denis in Columbus.
What?
He was 27 and 41.
Oh!
You have to go down to Curtis Joseph in Detroit, his first season there, at 14, before you get to Roman Czechmanic at 15, who played 2 games less than 16.
The Czechmanic?
14 players played over 60 games in the NHL in goaltenders. And this past year, it was Saros, Georgiev, and Hellebuck, and that's it. That's crazy.
Most unbreakable record in the NHL.
I remember.
There's a few.
I remember.
Like Bobby Orr holds the
spoil
single
it.
season record for.
Spoil
No,
it.
don't do it.
I'm going to spoil it.
Okay, what is it?
Consecutive games played by a goaltender.
How much is it?
The number?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Isn't it like 400 or something like that?
You wish. Glenn Hall,
6?
New York Rangers legend, 502
Wow.
consecutive games.
That
It's
seems...
just, that's a
502.
that's a different sport they used to play.
yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
That's not modern hockey.
502. I don't think he wore a mask for a single one of them.
Oh no.
That's rough.
I wrote about that in my book that comes out tomorrow.
Oh, stop.
Oh, that made the book.
Yeah. Well, I talk about goalie Mount Rushmore, and you can't, in the conversation of all-time goalies, leave out Glenn Hall. And I was amazed how many people I reached out to mentioned that. Like, they're like, no, Glenn Hall has to be in there. There's like career plus minus from Larry Robinson. He's like 200 up on the second place guy. Single season plus minus is Bobby Orr. It's like 124 or something dumb like that. Like record for penalty minutes in a season is probably like 400 or 500. No one's breaking that. 92 goals in a season. It doesn't look like anyone's breaking that anytime soon.
See, but those
502
those are
games?
reasonable. If you told me somebody one day can break 92 goals,
I would
I'd
believe
be like, yeah, that's
I
at
believe
least-
that.
That's an accomplishment that a human could achieve.
Sure.
Yeah.
The 500 starts isn't
Never.
the sport.
No.
Never.
That's not the game.
Like, what's the
anymore.
closest anyone has gotten since?
like 15?
like
10? Like even that's like 5 maybe?
Yeah.
Like what are we
a
talking
goalie
about?
starting 20 games in a row, we'd be like, I think you should fire the coach.
Yeah.
I don't even care if they won most of them. Like, yeah.
What?
Yeah. He it was, or was it the Rangers or the Blues he did it with? I can't remember. But he 502 consecutive games. It's never happening.
That's crazy. You know, you may not know it to look at us, but when we leave the house, you get your keys, maybe you get your headphones, you get your phone, you get your wallet.
And
you
your
might-
handsome face.
You might check your handsome face in the mirror. How's the hair looking?
That's the last thing I check every time.
Well, see, listen, no man wants to lose his hair, but for men, it's actually very common. And now with Hims, the solution is simple. Hims Hair Loss Solutions, you'll be joining hundreds of thousands of subscribers who got their flow back. they reinvested in their salad. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Good one. Yeah.
Okay, so Hims makes treating hair loss simple with doctor-trusted options and clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil, which sound really sciencey, but they actually work too. They can regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. You can choose from personalized chewable oral spray, and serums on top of your head that work. Yeah, 100. Yeah,
What?
Yes. And the
I'm
process
learning.
is simple and 100% online, just like Steve. Simple and 100% online.
Chronically.
Sounds like a kiss.
And no insurance is needed. One low price covers everything from treatments to ongoing care. How about
I'm
that?
just still shocked you can chew something. It's like, I'm going to fix you. Just chew this. That sounds amazing. I loved Flintstone's vitamins back in
That's
the day.
literally kind of the same thing.
For your hair.
You could start your free online visit today at hims.com/STP. That's HIMS.com/STP for your personalized hair loss treatment options. HIMS.com/STP. Results vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Prescription products require online consultations with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. I want to say that I wanted to bring this thing up, Jesse. Can you bring up this this video before we get a little back into what being a reporter's like to a new guy?
What do I
I sent you a video, and this is something that you wanted to mention on Friday anyway. And this might be this happened right after the show ended, and I was like, that's not fair.
It's got to be the funniest thing that's happened in hockey so far.
Worse than Thomas Vanek being traded right after the show or any of the other shit. This breaking after the show.
Oh, this is the thing you told me not to look at.
Yes,
and then I didn't.
That's right.
Okay, good.
I'm upset.
Great.
All right.
Whoa.
So every hockey team, it's a new thing. Every hockey team's got their little thing at the end of the game when you say, hey, this guy played the best. We're giving him whatever.
Okay.
The Leafs, they give people
A championship belt.
the belt in every game. I think Stoller's got it on Saturday.
Yep.
It was his first belt, and they take the picture, they throw it on the Instagram.
Him and Hildeby had a flex off.
Did they? I didn't see that.
Yeah, just let's be shirtless dudes.
That's what you're talking about. Yes. So the Minnesota Wild, Steve's favorite team,
Okay.
they have revealed their item that they give out to their player of the game in the dressing room after every game.
Okay, can we look at Marcus Foligno's?
What do we want to look at?
What do you want to
Because I know I can't see what the belt is, but the look he's giving it suggests it's quite odd.
Yeah, so
No, it's good.
I'm going to play this video, and we're all going to watch the reveal of what chain the Wild have decided to give the player of the game.
I want to know what Declan Chisholm has to say. Oh, no.
It is
Oh, no.
a giant novelty chain with a piece of wood on the end of it, and the wood says hard. And hockey Twitter has dubbed it the boner chain.
Retract the Wild. Retract the franchise.
At the end of every win, they will give one of their players a giant necklace that says hard, and he will put it around his neck, and at that moment, he will be hard, and he is the player of the game.
So how do you feel about that, Steve?
Gustafsson on Saturday got the boner, or on Friday got the boner necklace.
Is this the worst thing ever?
No, it's not the worst thing ever.
Or, okay,
Might be the greatest.
on a sliding scale of cringe to dudes rock, where does this fall? Because there's a conflict going on in me right now.
Well, we always assumed there was.
Always is. Always is. But like there's some cringe here,
There's a lot of cringe.
Yes.
but there's a little bit of dudes rock.
Okay.
I think there might be a little bit of dudes rock.
No.
Is this dudes rock? No, this is cringe.
I don't know.
Is this cringe or dudes rock?
I don't look at this and I say, dudes rock.
Yeah, I'm not saying dudes rock here.
I'm saying that's awkward and somebody should have thought this through.
Yeah. Yeah, like really. the social media person who's filming this, and God bless them, they're doing their job.
They're just like, oh no.
They know. And I want what
They
I
have
wanna
a
know
hard
is,
job.
who's the out of touch person in marketing who was like, you know what?
The hard chain.
They'll respond. The youngins will respond to this. And by the way, we have nothing but love for the Minnesota organization. We're just joking here, but it is a bit
Is there a backstory
It's a bit aggressive.
to why the player of the game has to wear a chain that says "I'm hard"? I don't know.
Maybe
I
there
would
is.
love somebody from the Wild to come on and explain.
Like, couldn't you have, like, if you're the Minnesota Wild, you're supposed to be like a wild cat. They just didn't call them the Wildcats, right?
Hard cats.
Can't they-
Hard cat.
Couldn't they have called them like? Couldn't the thing just like ferocious or something? Find a different word that you could associate with a cat attacking. You know what I mean?
Who made this? I want to know who made this.
Claws up. Anything.
Anything. Or just like champ. I don't know.
By the way, the only thing that would make this a dude's rock situation is if they sold this in stores. If they start selling
Oh,
Hard chain?
just everybody in the stadium with the the plastic gold chains that they have
Yeah.
with that say
after
hard,
every win, hard.
that would be okay. That would be enjoyable. You have to give them that.
Has anybody in Minnesota asked them?
I haven't seen anything from Russo.
What are
on
they
it.
watching on TV?
They're playing music. That's the Spotify thing, or that's like an album art.
I think it's country.
They're playing a song. Yeah,
Looks country. I don't recognize the artist, but they're
I can't look past the
they look like
chain
they're
on Gustafson saying hard.
they're into it. They're okay. I'm gonna go. This is about 30% dudes rock.
70.
It's 70% cringe. But
Adam, is
that enough?
Is Fleury coming on Agent Provocateur at any
I hope so.
at any point in
This
the near
could be
future?
his last season, so I'm hoping he's able to make time.
So
for it.
if he comes on, will you ask him about the chain?
yeah,
Mark Hardry.
knowing
Fleury.
him, he was probably his idea.
Yeah, honestly.
Like,
he
that's
probably
a
thinks this is funny.
Probably like, this is hilarious. None of them know.
You got to ask him if
Yeah.
he comes on. Just ask him why.
Like, Mark, what's the deal?
What's the
Jesse-
deal with the hard chain?
Jesse, I'll save you a text later. The episode title is Hard. That or Dudes Rock.
What about boner necklace?
Do you think
I don't
that's
think that'll do well
you think
for
that's a
SEO.
little too on the nose
you
there,
don't
Jesse?
think,
Or
you don't think the internet will react well to that?
I think that'll do bad for our general SEO, but it might get us record viewership on Twitter.
Right.
Just because it's all about gore and porn. Dude.
It's a decision.
You know what? The fact that this needed to be planned and discussed and made, like,
they must have known.
I think I might bump this up to 35% Dudes Rock.
Really? All right.
Oh,
All right. We'll
Adam
see.
just knocked it back down to 32.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. I'm looking.
What are you looking for?
I am looking for anybody that has asked any question on the Minnesota chain, and nobody has.
No, there's nothing on
Nothing.
Russo's Twitter.
Nothing.
No.
So Russo tweets a lot too. No offense to Russo.
When
all
did they
do.
come to town?
It's difficult to Minnesota.
Yeah.
I felt like there was a game in November. Am I wrong on that?
Just Adam, just Google locker room full of dudes hard. Learn to use Google.
Yeah, Minnesota Wild, November 3rd.
Oh, so that's fairly soon.
Yeah.
All right. If nobody finds out by then, I'll ask one of them.
Yeah. That's our roving reporter, Jesse Blake. Speaking of, okay,
This rules.
I want to get the news from
It depends if they skate that morning. I can ask them.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I've followed people around who have done what you did, but I've never done it myself. Steve has done it for certain teams and sports or whatever. So Jesse, for the average fan, what's a Saturday night or what's a Saturday look like as an accredited media member?
It's truly a full day. Like
Okay.
there are guys there who are cover the Leafs who are just there all day because it's all they are doing that day, and they have a bunch of articles to fill and deadlines to accomplish. So I'm not that. I'm not writing during the day, so my day's a little truncated. I get there. They are on the ice about 11. Some guys are on a little bit before that, but this is just for Saturday night hockey. You get there. The Leafs skate first, then the away team comes. But Leafs are on the ice. They do a couple drills. They do a couple of the regular practices, drills they always do, like the power play. They're always out there practicing the power play, and they do a couple other things. They come off the ice. You give them a moment, but you kind of wait around outside the locker room. The PR staff lets you in there. And then there's a bunch of guys you can talk to.
So you got to go in the Leafs locker room.
Yeah.
Was that your first time?
Yes, when there's other people. I've been in there for a tour.
Okay.
Like just as a casual, you know.
But never when it's in use.
Not when the players are there for media. I've been there when it's been empty. So you're in there, and they'll bring up guys on the board, you know, in front of there to talk to and that sort of stuff. But like the interesting things that I noticed throughout that, which I think people might find fascinating that you won't see when you're just a fan. Ryan Reeves is one. He's either every time I've been to two skates now, he's always the first person out there or out with the first person. Then when he was out there on Saturday, there was kids there. I don't know whose family gets in because it's somebody who knows somebody on the team to be in there at that time. But they brought their two kids, and these kids were yelling when they weren't supposed to be yelling and doing a lot of banging,
being kids,
being kids. To be fair. And Reeves was the one to acknowledge that these kids are yelling at all the players, and he threw them 2 pucks.
Oh, that's cool.
He's the hardest working guy on the team. He's always out there beforehand with the coaches that are coming out with him doing extra drills, and he's always one of the last guys off the ice. So that thing where they're like, he's important to the locker room, you can see it in action when you're around the team. You can see that this guy is a lightning rod for hard work and enthusiasm, and everybody realizing that we got something to accomplish here. We're a hockey team, and we got to be working hard every single moment that we're out here. So Ryan Reeves,
keeping it light isn't just telling jokes.
No.
Right? It's stuff like that.
Yeah. So that was, I think, just a little thing you notice right away. One thing from practice today, Austin Matthews, even in casual settings on the ice, you can tell that he's the best player on the ice. Even in a practice amongst other professional hockey players, you can tell his skills translate more to this game, and he's better than everybody out there. It's like when you're watching, like if you guys ever watch high school sports, if you played on the team or anything, or just like when
you knew who the best player was.
You knew who that kid who's like 12, and you're like, oh, that's the best kid that's fucking Johnny's kid. You know, he's the best player on the team. Austin Matthews has that energy amongst other professional hockey players. And you see little things throughout the practice that really bring it out. Like they were doing a little drill where they're next to the boards. The net is off to the side, so it's a cut off ice. You know, they're running a little thing in this little circle where there's 10 guys there, but they're all out there. And Austin Matthews ripped a one-timer in this little area from me to Steve that's as good as any Ovechkin slap shot on the power play. And nobody on the ice at that moment could do that but him. Mm-hmm. So you see superstars in action in every essence of the Sens when they even are in practice. So that was really noticeable there. But back to Saturday with the game and the morning skate and all that, it was a lot of fun. You know, you go to the locker room. So the Pens come out after the Leafs are done talking. There's enough time in between where there's Zamboning the ice. Where the Leafs talk, there's Zamboni, and then the away team goes on the ice, and then the away team goes off the ice, and they're now in the locker room, and you can go in there and you can talk to them.
Yep.
Crosby, my first day in the locker room.
Unbelievable.
I get to stick my phone in Crosby's face and see what he's saying, see if there's anything quotable in there. I didn't tweet anything that Crosby said. He had just asked. He didn't give anything spicy that day.
He's not spicy, but he always talks.
He's not spicy, but that's the thing. He always talks.
Because he knows.
He knows what everybody's there for, and it's for Sidney Crosby.
It's an art to say nothing.
Exactly. It's when he wasn't at his stall yet, but they were coming off the ice, and people started crowding around the stall, and everybody gravitated. You know, you slowly move over to his area because you know Crosby's going to sit there.
So he's kind of known for having crusty ass like under equipment, like his weird hat, his weird Under Armour. Did you see any of that?
Yeah, he was wearing a Reebok shirt that he's worn his whole life. It's very crusty. The back part of it's see-through.
Do they even make Reebok anymore?
No, so that's why I highlight it's Reebok. So there's Crosby there.
Are you going to put this on the screen?
No, I'm not going to put this on screen. Okay. Because I'm never sure. So it's all very controlled. So I'm not really sure about what I can show and what I can't show right now.
We'll learn.
I'll get better at that. But yeah, Crosby's crusty shirt was definitely on display. It's a Reebok shirt that he's worn for years. But
his hat doesn't have weird salt lines. Is he feeling okay?
yeah, I think it was a relatively new Fanatics hat. Yeah. But Crosby was there, and he gave everybody who wanted to ask him a question the time of day. Yeah. You know, he sat there until the PR guy was like, okay, no more Crosby questions, but he just kept answering them. And Mike Zeisberger, who's covered the team for a long time, came over and he's like, that Crosby, every time he comes to town,
the mayor,
he's the mayor of the dressing room. So seeing Crosby there was really cool. And then I left after the away team stuff, and then I come back for the game.
Right around what time? Like 5:30, 6 o'clock, something like that?
I was there at like 6:15. I didn't go too early. You can go down there. There's a media center down below. Like, people wouldn't know this, but
I've been in there.
They call it the media center. That's where Berube talks when he's there during the morning skate. He comes out at the podium. He doesn't do it in the dressing room, but at practice he'll do it in the dressing room. That's a little different. So Berube talks there in the media center before the game and after the game, and that's kind of where you get the good stuff. The coach, he's always going to talk before and after, and he's going to be the reveal guy. Like, I'm going to say, Liljegren might play Wednesday. We'll see how it goes, like that sort of stuff. Wall, he was skating beforehand before you guys were here. Wall was out there on the ice. That's where you kind of.
You're not going to get it at the arena. You're going to get it in practice.
In the arena too, but he's going to be the one to say the thing, not the players.
Right,
is what I'm getting.
Right.
At.
Okay.
Like Willie talked and. Willie's like, I don't even say Willie's shy, but he's a little bashful, where he's
That's
like.
such a good way to put it. It really is.
He's not shy. He loves the attention, but he's never going to give you too much. He's a little bashful.
That's part of why the Amazon doc is so good, because it shows Willie the superstar, which you really only ever see on the ice. He's interesting is not the word. It's bashful. He's like, all right, let's get this over with. He's very friendly about how he goes about not wanting to ever be in front of a microphone.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
And I think that's just the nature of hockey players. They default to, I don't want to talk to anybody, kind of thing. And
because some guys are pricks about it.
And they don't have to be.
No, and Willie, case in point, we all know he hates it.
Yeah.
He hates it with every fiber of his being. But he puts up with it, and I kind of respect it more.
So a couple days in, I'm starting to learn, like, the coach will say the thing. The coach will give you the news item. So that's really important. And before the game, I'm there like 6:15-ish. I go up to the press box. You can see what they're doing pregame. You probably find out a couple of the lines, things like who's actually going to play. So they all come out and they skate. JT's not out there. John Tavares isn't going to play. And people, some of the reporters there send that out. That sort of stuff.
Yeah. What'd you eat? What'd you eat?
There's free pizza.
What?
In the press box at the first whistle-ish, around the first period-ish. They bring out free pizza. There's free coffee, free juice, and all that. I told the story about me sitting in the wrong seat. That was fun. I didn't have any of the pizza I'd ate beforehand.
What about the ice cream?
Ice cream. I didn't go see the ice cream, but I saw some of the guys have ice cream.
It goes quick.
They get coffee?
It goes so fast.
Coffee?
Coffee's good.
Coffee's good.
Coffee's good. It's good.
It's free and it's good.
It's free and it's good. That's all you can ask for.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, they have bottles of Smart Water too. Grab one of those.
Nice.
Yeah, that's like a $5 bottle of water.
That's all right.
Take advantage of that.
Take a few of those home with you. Why not?
Yeah. They still got the little bags of Doritos?
Bags of Doritos I didn't see. They might have been gone before I got there. The popcorn went quick too. They have little bags of popcorn if you're in the press box. Those went real quick.
They can't replenish them? Come on, guys.
No, they can't. Yeah, once they run out, they can't put new ones.
The Jays popcorn is better. Step your game up, please.
There you go. So, but I think that kind of covers the overall experience of the Saturday.
Well, so I think what's going to be fascinating is that the first time they have just an absolute knockout loss. And what that vibe is going to be. So that's where, because I know you. So essentially, what's happening, and I think we should talk about the plan so our listeners know. You're going to be at as much as you can be, and there's 41 home games, and you already were at one. If you're going to try to be as many practices as you can, but you have to work during the day as well, doing other things.
We got to do this.
Yeah, but you're going to be there pretty much every game.
Yeah, it's good to be around the team. It's a different perspective, and you kind of understand how they feel about things. Like right now, vibes are good. You know, you're around the guys and like the power play struggling and they all know that, but that's not anything. They've been winning games.
3 games in.
Austin's like, cool, I'm captain, but like I'm going about my business and I haven't scored. I don't have a point yet, but like who cares? Like we're winning. I don't need that to win. Vibes are good. So it'll be interesting to see how it evolves over the season and how they react when there's some adversity.
Every team has their first loss that isn't cute. And last year I think it was game 10 against the Bruins. Tyler Bertuzzi and
that was bad.
And it wasn't friggin' cute.
No.
But it dictated
The Tyler Bertuzzi thing, I forgot about that.
right?
Oh.
Yeah.
But it dictated like the rest of the next month, which they killed it, by the way. They went on, they got a little hot before they went to Sweden. They went to Sweden, took 2 of 2, came back and kept winning. Right? And it was all born from the first loss
It's also when Joseph Wall
one's
took
happy
off.
about that. Sorry?
It's when Joseph Wall took off.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Sammy
all the exact
was falling
details.
off a cliff at that point.
Yeah.
And then in December, yes.
in
December, he really hit the skids. But
he hit the Emersonian mine.
yeah, it was bad.
sure.
It was bad. That's very cool, Jesse. So we're gonna be this is a great thing as this show develops and grows, and even at season 12, that's what you're still doing, right? We now have the perspective of somebody who's there every day.
13.
13. Oh yeah, 13 seasons, 12 total years.
No one can decide. 12 and a half.
12 and a half. Whatever it is. The reality is that I think that this, it gives us that little bit. And to be honest, I'm actually, I have to say this, very grateful to MLSE for giving us a shot on this one because they didn't have to.
Yeah.
And we have asked before and they have said no before.
They didn't. The conversation went so much better than I could have hoped for a few years ago. Like there was a time where I'm like, we're never getting in.
Yeah.
We're never getting in.
And that suited us for a bit because it was kind of funny, right?
I was
But after
like-
a while, it's like, well, this is a little sad. Like we're a network now. We produce pretty good stuff. We
It's
got
not-
tens of millions of
It's
downloads
not
every
really
year.
funny anymore.
No, it was. I do have to give them a lot of credit.
And they were I think it started in Sweden last year with you.
Because
Because they gave you access in Sweden, did they not?
Exactly.
They helped you.
So that was. Yes, you're right. Yes. So the way it happened, without divulging too much, is I had a really good conversation with the Leafs last year. It was like 45 minutes, and the conversation began with no, like they were very upfront, and it wasn't like it's
Just to be clear, it's a no. But anyway, let's have a chat.
yeah, and I was a very good boy about it. I'm not yelly screamy man all the time, and I heard them out. And I let them know. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna go to Sweden. From money from my own business, not from SDPN, but I'm gonna pay my way there. We are not gonna make $1 off of this trip. We are going to lose it. That is how serious I am about going there and doing this and having this experience and blah, 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 blah. So the Swedish games were not through the Leafs. They were through the NHL. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there were words exchanged and they were positive, and that's why we got, I think,
All-Star
that's the
access.
first credential we had with the NHL go through. Right?
And then
Sweden won?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I didn't blow it for us in Sweden. So
And then we
ended up getting
Then we got All-Star.
and then we got
Yeah.
All-Star, and I reached out to the Leafs a few weeks ago. It was actually pretty recent, and they were like, we actually meant to call you. And I went, really?
Yeah.
Well, let's chat. And now we're in.
So the whole idea is we picked the best of us, and now because we're like, who's the least likely to screw this up?
Jesse. Easily.
The guy that can show up on time.
Easily.
So
the
it
only
has
one
to
of
be
the
him.
three.
Yeah. And also, like, shout out the guys who've been doing this for a long time and
Yeah.
kind of helped me on my first day, like David Alter, who's at everything, like every practice, every skate, every game.
He goes on the road too. He's insane.
also
I don't know
on the
how he
road
does it.
games. And I saw CJ down there on Saturday. That was great to see him at the morning skate. And everybody's very gracious and very helpful. And even the Scotiabank Arena staff, I was like, okay, so where's the media center exactly? Like, what elevator can I take to get down there? Because I was up in the press box, and after the game, like you leave a little early to kind of rush down so you don't have to beat the crowds and everything. And I couldn't really find my way back down, so they kind of pointed me in the right direction. So it was an adventure, but everybody there was really nice.
Big Z.
Big Z, Mike Zeisberger. Yeah, I mentioned him. He's fantastic.
He's always been so great to us.
Yeah, he loves you. Like
He's the best.
he's your
he's the
biggest
best.
fan.
Oh, he's the best. Man, I got to sit next to him on the trip down to the draft. We just talked the whole time. Remember?
Yeah.
We're the two loudest guys on the plane. That guy rules.
Yeah.
The best.
The plane.
The Nashville plane.
Yeah.
Kevin McGran, also shout out, great dude.
Was he good? Was he just?
We're chatting a little.
Yeah?
Good.
Was he
stuff.
like? And who are you?
Hello. No,
Yeah?
everybody's very nice.
Do they know?
Yeah.
That's cool. So
Jonas,
nobody gave you any shit.
I saw Jonas Siegel this morning. You know,
Oh,
he was getting all his quotes.
Love Jonas.
He was doing a good job. Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's
It's great. I'm excited to see how this evolves throughout the season. You know, we're gonna use these wisely and hopefully bring to everybody listening and watching, bring you more in-depth content. You know, like now that we have like, hey, you know, Berube said this today, and I saw them, and this is what came from.
And you can
practice.
give us the context on it too, because sometimes
Yeah.
it's taken out of context. We got to go dig up and find it. And
Yeah,
you'll have been
here's
there.
what happened. I think that'll really add to the experience of everything.
Hey, do we want to do some quick press conference here?
Sure.
Let's do it.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
A little bit of trivia for you,
Ooh.
Steve and Jesse.
Love me
This
some
just
trivia.
popped up, and I'll give full credit to Bleacher Report for this. 3 Connors have scored in Edmonton this year. None of them are McDavid. Can you name the Connors?
Brown.
Brown. Yeah.
That's the free square.
No.
What?
What?
So Connor McDavid and Connor Brown haven't scored in Edmonton, but 3 others have.
Yes, and
Oh.
it can be first name and last name.
Oh, you stink. Do they have? No, they don't have Logan O'Connor. I was going to say
No,
Logan.
no, as in like games in Edmonton.
Oh, you suck.
What's wrong with this question? It's great.
Connor Zary.
Connor Zary?
No.
Are any of them Oilers?
No. So Connor Zary.
Oh,
You're
bad
the worst.
trivia. This is why you don't do trivia.
Who else have they played? Oh, you suck. You stink.
Who else has a name around the league with Connor in it? Come
Lots
on,
of guys.
There's lots of people with Connor.
Notable Connors. Connor Zary is by far the least notable.
Oh,
By far.
Connor, not Timmons. No, not Bleakley. Not. I'm just like trying to go through this.
Connor. Who else?
Kyle
has got the
Connor?
name? Kyle Connor.
There you go.
One more guy.
Oh yeah, 6-0.
And one more.
Kyle Connor.
Big name Connor.
Big name. Connor.
Big Connor name.
Bedard.
Bedard. Thank you. There we go.
I hated that.
Yeah.
Why did you hate that? I thought that
Yeah.
was great.
No,
Adam?
I thought it was Edmonton Oilers.
You know
No,
what?
in Edmonton. Happened in Edmonton. That was what the question was.
Solid idea. Terrible execution.
Yeah.
3.
Wow. On the deserved to interesting meter, I get
Out of what? 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the deserved to interesting meter is.
I agree.
Fine.
3 is about right.
Do better.
Guess I'm going to have to. Jesse?
Do better.
I wanted to update this because Brady asked about it. Brady _Punton16 on Twitter said the Jesse Blake Hellebuck 920 save percentage challenge is off to a heated start. 3 games, 1 shutout, 2 goals allowed, 3 wins, 976 save percentage.
Let's fucking go.
So
I don't remember. I don't remember the challenge.
what is this challenge?
In our Winnipeg Jets season preview, I challenged the city of Winnipeg, and I said Connor Hellebuck will not have a save percentage over 920 this season because it's actually a really rare thing to go 3 consecutive seasons with a 920 save percentage.
Yes.
And so far, he is off to a hot start with 1 shutout and a 976 save percentage.
Get absolutely wrecked.
Hey. Steve, did you do, this is from David, not a question, but trivia. Now that all 32 teams got captains, can Steve and Adam name them all? Did you do this on Saturday?
We started to do this on the stream, but we did not do it. There are some shocking names on this list. Okay, I know the Leafs. So Phaneuf was the Leafs captain. Brian Gionta was the Habs captain. That was one I couldn't guess, and Hayden had to help me with. Doug Waite at 40 years old.
Oh, you're doing the last time all
Wait.
teams.
Oh, are we doing...
This one just wanted the current captain.
Oh, so what we did on the stream was the last time
Yeah.
every team had a captain, which was 2010-11.
Yeah.
So who all the captains are?
Do you guys want to do this?
I could do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we can.
Okay. Okay.
Can you name the team at least? So we don't.
I'm gonna go through the teams in alphabetical orders.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
In order.
At least we have
do
that.
you think you can name every captain?
Yes.
Yeah?
FU. F you.
Like without fail?
Without fail. Without hesitation. Easily.
I think I can do it.
Easily. It's nothing to me. It's nothing.
All right. So Jordan Eberle was named captain of the Seattle Kraken on October 8th.
All right, there's one.
Marking the first time since 2010-11 that every team in the NHL has a captain. Sidney Crosby is the longest
There's two.
tenured
Let's
captain,
go. We're
holding
off
the
hot
position
start.
for the Pittsburgh Penguins since May 31st, 2007. Here is the current list of team captains. I'm reading from NHL.com. Anaheim Ducks.
Radko Gudas.
Correct. Boston Bruins.
Brad
Marchand.
Buffalo Sabres.
Rasmus Dahlin.
That one.
Correct. Calgary Flames.
Oh, Michael Backlund.
Correct.
Yeah.
Carolina Hurricanes.
Stahl? Jordan Stahl?
Yeah, Jordan Stahl.
Correct.
Yeah.
Chicago Blackhawks.
I was like, wait, is he retired?
Nick Foligno.
Correct. Colorado Avalanche.
Gabriel Landeskog.
Correct. Columbus Blue Jackets.
Boone Jenner.
Correct. Dallas Stars.
Jamie Benn, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, Jamie Benn.
Correct. Detroit Red Wings.
Dylan Larkin.
Correct. Edmonton Oilers.
Connor McDavid.
Correct.
Connor Zary. No, I'm kidding.
Florida Panthers.
Sasha Barkov.
Correct. Kings. of
Anze
Los Angeles.
Kopitar.
Correct.
Yeah.
Minnesota Wild.
Jared Spurgeon. Hard.
It's hard.
Hard.
Who's actively hard right now.
Yes.
Montreal Canadiens.
Nick Suzuki.
Correct. Nashville Predators.
Roman Yossi.
Correct. New Jersey Devils.
Nico Hischier.
Correct. New York Islanders.
Anders Lee.
No, does not play there anymore.
Where
Anders
is
Lee
he?
doesn't play there anymore.
Did he retire?
No, I think
Where's
he's in
Anders
Colorado or something.
What?
Yeah.
Is it Brock Nelson? Yo, what?
Is it Barzal or Nelson?
No, it's not Barzal.
No, it wouldn't be.
Brock Nelson.
Anders Lee doesn't play there anymore, right? I swear to God, I saw him like...
Wait, who said no? Jesse or Adam?
I said no. I said it can't
I
be
say
Anders
Anders
because
Lee.
I'm pretty...
What's your answer?
Anders Lee.
That's correct.
It
You
is?
suck.
Wait, if you're not there's like a Lee somewhere else, and I was like, A Lee.
Oh my God, I'm going to beat you up. I can't believe that. You had me really believing.
Anders Lee is the captain of the New York Islanders.
Why did I think I was like, I made a note of that. I was like, man, that's so wild that Anders Lee's not on the island anymore.
my
I don't know what you did,
I don't know what I did either.
but he's on the island.
Oh my God, I'm going to beat you up.
All right. New York Rangers.
Friggin' Trouba. Jacob Trouba.
Ottawa Senators.
Tkachuk.
Brady Tkachuk. Yeah.
Philadelphia Flyers.
Travis Konechny.
Nope.
Oh, Sean
Got-
Couturier. Sorry.
What is your answer?
Sean Couturier.
Correct.
Travis Konechny.
I don't know.
You're giving me shit about Anders Lee?
Yeah,
Rutger
no, that's
McGroarty.
way worse.
No, it's not.
Rutger McGroarty. Pittsburgh Penguins.
Crosby, you already said it.
San Jose Sharks.
Ooh.
They have a captain. They for sure do.
Vlasic? No. Who is the captain of the Sharks?
Oh no. Oh, Logan Couture.
Hey!
Correct.
Damn.
Seattle Kraken.
Jordan Eberle.
Correct. St. Louis Blues.
Oh no. Oh shit.
Oh, it was St. Louis?
Braden Shen.
Oh, hang on.
Is that your answer?
Hang on. Who else could be?
Well, it's not Kyrou. It's not Thomas.
Jordan Bennington.
It's not Krug.
It's not Krug. It's not. I don't think it's Pareko. Oh shit. Because it was Petro.
Yeah.
Oh, who'd they give it to after Petro? Not Tarasenko.
I mean, Shen would make sense. But...
Steen's not there. I'm gonna say Braden Shen.
That's correct.
you have to think about it.
Adam! God!
Adam's leading you astray. Tampa Bay Lightning.
Friggin' Victor Hedman.
Correct. Toronto Maple Leafs.
Austin Matthews.
Thank
John
you.
Tavares.
You're welcome.
Austin, yeah.
John Tavares.
My brain short-circuited there for a second.
Utah Hockey Club.
Clayton Keller.
Correct. Vancouver Canucks.
Quinn Hughes.
Yeah, that one.
Correct.
Quinn Hughes.
Vegas Golden Knights.
Is it not?
Oh, Mark Stone.
Yeah.
Correct.
Is he playing or is he LTIR?
I don't know.
Till April.
I legit don't know.
Washington Capitals
Ovi.
and Winnipeg Jets.
Adam Lowry.
Well done! Wow!
Despite my best efforts. All right. I got one for you guys. I'll follow this up.
No, I thought we were going to wrap.
No, one more. It's about team captains.
Logan Shaw. Next.
Name the 4 players who have been team captains from
Wow.
2014 to 2024.
What?
Name the 4 players who have been team captains from 2014 to
the whole
2024,
time?
like now, the whole time.
Ovi.
Yep.
Crosby.
Yep.
Couture.
Nope.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Oh, there is a weird one. There is a really weird
Yossi?
one.
Nope.
No.
I feel like-
McDavid.
Nope.
Oh.
14.
Oh.
What team? What year?
2014 for 10 years. Captain for 10 years.
Uh,
Only 111 players have ever hit 5 years as a captain
That's crazy. That's insane.
of all time.
Spurgeon.
No.
Kopitar.
Nope. Kopitar, when I was asked this, I'm like, it has to be Kopitar.
Barkov.
No.
I believed you when you said it.
Stahl.
No.
Marchand.
No, obviously not.
Gudis.
No. 4
Jamie-
weeks maybe.
Jamie Benn.
Ben?
Jamie Benn.
Okay.
And there's one more.
You need one more?
And it's a weird one.
It is a weird one.
It's a weird one.
Andersley.
Not Andersley.
I'm going to fight you.
I'm sorry. I swear to God, I'm going to look into that. Remember I told you Kovacevic
I mean,
too? I'm
it's
like, didn't
wrong.
they trade for Kovacevic? You guys, I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about.
What?
There was in the
Landeskog.
Landeskog.
Oh.
Oh!
I thought I already said it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I do. I want to see Megapolis just to see that scene come up.
I will not see that movie sober.
No.
Sorry, I just...
So you could go back to the club. Anyway, let's hit the extra, Jesse. Let's go back to the club.
The club.
And I'm gonna do the stream tonight. Talking to Montreal Canadiens fans. I'm talking to Pittsburgh Penguins fans. It's gonna be a good time.
Don't get us demonetized with your feet.
Can that get you demonetized?
Yes, Adam.
Really?
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.